Welcome back to the House of Cards, where everyone is welcome to join and talk about cards. And I am excited for this episode we're about to do because this is something that's been kind of weighing on my mind for a while, talking about why checklists matter. And we're going to do a little bit of a data-backed research here into some kind of findings that I found a little bit disturbing with the current state of card production. But before we get into that, let's do the usual house cleaning stuff. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it. You're awesome. Click the subscribe button. It's easy. It's painless. It's free. There's no worries there. So jump in and subscribe. Join our small community and get your notifications of new videos by clicking the little bell icon down there. That'll give you a nice friendly little ping whenever a new video drops, like this one, which I feel is going to be very eye-opening for a lot of people who may be new to the hobby or may have sort of, not really kept their eye on the prize as much when new products release, because they just figure, the product has a good brand name, the product has a good following or hobby, collector following, and it's good, right? Just as much as it was the year before, or the year before that, or whatever. But things change. And the card manufacturers are not stupid. They obviously understand when the market is booming, when there's more product being bought, and the demand is a lot higher. What is naturally going to happen is products are going to have to expand, more cards need to get printed, prices are going to go up. Therefore, that leads to a lot of changes in these sets, because the same thing can't come out year after year after year when there's massive fluctuations in the desirability of the hobby. So what naturally is happening right now is we are seeing a lot of modern sets coming out that have these massive checklists that are just, in my opinion, quite out of control, really. And it's really going to kind of make the market a lot harder to navigate for people that aren't, in this day-to-day, don't really understand the intricacies of sets and checklists, because it can be really kind of scary when someone jumps in and they're trying to understand, like, what are the most desirable cards in certain sets, and what cards are going to hold the best value, and what cards are most prized by collectors. And I mean, there's just so much to know that I wanted to take a second just to give a quick explanation. Again, this isn't going to be as deep of a dive as this topic needs to be, but I just wanted to show one solid sort of representation of what's happening here. So without further ado, I'm going to bring us over into a live screen here of my computer. All right. There we are. So I landed here on Cardboard Connection, which is my favorite resource for checklists and, new products that are dropping. They do a great breakdown of what are all the different cards and parallels and inserts and all the things in different sets. They don't have every single set ever printed on this website, but they do have the majority of the bigger brands and the bigger name sets. So what I picked today to focus on is Select Football. So if you don't know Select Football, I'll give you a quick, brief introduction to it. Select was actually a set that was out back in the 90s. So it's something that was around in baseball, and they had other, kind of applications for Select. It was kind of a weird set that didn't really have like a huge following. They did have some nice looking cards, but it definitely never really like gained a big, I would say, hobby following. So they went away for a while, and they came back a couple decades later in 2013 to bring out Select Football, and I do believe Select Baseball dropped that year as well. So Panini obviously got the license for football, quickly came out with Select Football, and it was pretty well received. It was a kind of a prism style of set that, had the chromium finish, high end, just kind of had that nice kind of all the things that collectors look for, right? Okay, well, 2013 being the first year of Select Football, it came out obviously in a lower quantities because of the fact that it was for hobby only, and this was not sold in retail. It was only sold in hobby boxes that you can only find at your local card shops. So with that, you would assume naturally that there's going to be not as high of a print run, because anytime something's in retail, obviously the print runs are a little bit higher. But, there's a lot of variations too in terms of parallels and so on and so forth. But when Select first came out in 2013, it was very simple. There was not the same kind of setup as you see in today's Select, which includes multiple levels. You know, you got your field level, your concourse, your premier, so on and so forth. Each level having a different rarity, and each level also having its own checklist that usually includes the same players kind of recycled through the 3 levels with cards in each level and parallels in each level. But back in 2013, Select did it a little bit different, and they had 3 sort of sets right within it. You had your base set checklist, which had, kind of the big players of the day. They have the retired set checklist, which is obviously retired players that are, probably Hall of Famers mostly. And then you got your rookie set checklist, which is going to be all of your rookies, obviously. So pretty straightforward. And today we're just going to focus on the base cards. I'm not going to get into the inserts, the autos, the memorabilia cards, all that kind of stuff. We're going to kind of leave that off the table for now, so we can just kind of focus on like the real basic sort of core cards that are just your kind of run-of-the-mill base Select cards. So with that being said, 2013 isn't going to be the greatest example because it doesn't really comp out to today's Select. But what I wanted to show you here, which I think is the most kind of eye-opening, is the parallel cards. So in 2013, there were only 3 or 4 different parallels. You have your Prism, which is basically your silver. You have your Prism Green out of 15. You have your Prism Gold out of 10. And then you got your Black 1 of 1. So 4 parallels plus your base card. So basically a Tom Brady card, there are only 5 Tom Brady non-auto, non-memorabilia cards in 2013 Select. So keep that as your starting point for where we're moving forward here. It's going to get a little wild. All right, so let's fast forward, and I wanted to pick a year that was semi-recent, that had a really good rookie class, because usually that means there's a little bit more hype around the product and around the print run specifically. So I landed on 2018 because 2018 has a great rookie class. You got Baker Mayfield as your number 1 overall. You have, obviously Lamar Jackson. You have Josh Allen. You got Saquon Barkley. So you just have a really strong rookie class in this year's Select. So I think this is a good kind of example that isn't too old, but still kind of will show you what I'm getting at here. So what I'm using as my kind of sample player is Baker Mayfield, because he was the number 1 pick, and he definitely was the hot player of the moment that I think a lot of people were chasing in 2018. So what I'm going to do here is to show you an example of sort of the Select cards and how many cards there are for Baker Mayfield. And again, we're just talking about the base cards. We're talking about the concourse. We're talking about the premier. And we're talking about the field level cards. We're not talking about autographs. We're not talking about memorabilia. We're not talking about inserts. So just want to kind of keep it in on those main cards. Okay, so in 2018, there were the 3 levels, concourse being the kind of lowest level, premier being your mid-level, and field level being your high in short print level. So concourse being the most highly printed, field level being the most short printed, and premier being sort of in the middle. All right, so let's start with concourse. So concourse is your kind of real simple, basic one. Here's a picture of what the concourse cards look like. Baker Mayfield is obviously here in this checklist right there, card number 30. And these are your Prism parallels for the concourse cards. So out of these cards, Baker basically has a base card plus 12 parallels. Okay, so you can basically find 13 different variations of a Baker Mayfield concourse level card. All right. Sounds like a lot, huh? Considering back in 2013, there was only 5 overall, right? I know. Okay, so now premier level is the second level. A little bit more short printed. But let's look here. Baker obviously has a card in this level as well. There he is. And then here are your parallels. So you have, your Prism parallels, you got your tricolors, and then you got your die cut parallels, which, it's the same card, it just has some die cutting, and you have all those parallels. So Baker, in premier level, you have a base card plus 11 different parallels. So 12 different cards in the premier level for Baker. All right. And then the field level, which is the most short printed of all of those. Baker has, of course, a card in this level as well. And the field level is going to come in 10 different parallels plus the base level. So that comes to a total of 11 different cards. Okay, so if I was chasing the Baker Mayfield Rainbow, and I'm including base for all levels on this as well, so some people wouldn't include base in the rainbow, but we're doing it for comparison's sake here. There are a total of 36 different Baker Mayfield cards that you can get out of 2018 Select Football. 36. That's quite the rainbow, right? I mean, it's gonna be hard. Of course, some of those are 1 of 1s, numbers of 5s. So some super short print cards in there, and then of course you have the zebra card, which is a case hit. So that's a pretty hard card to pull, right? The zebra is not numbered, but it is a case hit. Now, that is also, you got to consider how many zebras there are, considering every player has a zebra in every different level. So you could get basically 300 different zebra cards in that one case hit. So getting a Baker Mayfield zebra card is pretty hard to get. So granted, there are some definitely rare cards in this, but they're definitely, you can see right here the zebra, 1 per case, right? In the concourse, 1 per case in the premier, and then 1 per case in the field level. So, I guess within one case, I correct myself, you could potentially get 3 zebras, but only 1 from each level. So, all right, well, there you go on 2018 Select. So, yeah, does it seem a little parallel heavy? Yeah, it does. Does it seem like there's still value in like really hard to get cards like zebras and stuff like that? Yeah, I think so. So, if I was chasing 2018 Select, I would go through the checklist. I would kind of look at the different parallels, right? And, kind of make a decision on where I feel comfortable going. I think an orange prism out of 49 that would kind of color match Baker Mayfield's jersey would be an amazing card to get. Numbered out of 49, I'm sure it's a nice looking card. Of course, a zebra would be beautiful, so on and so forth. But let's now move on to the 2020 Select. So 2 years later, what happens? Okay, we know what happened. The hobby exploded. Everyone's going crazy. Select decides to come out. They decide to add retail. So this is important because the average person in the hobby may not realize that there's a difference this year that Select has gone retail compared to before when it was only hobby. So the difference that makes is obviously a way bigger print run, right? Way bigger print run because they got to supply all the Targets and the Walmarts and the, every, store they have contracts with. It's just got to become now a way more robust product. But the problem here is that the product has become so robust that it's almost now watered down to the point where these parallels and these different, supposedly short printed cards are almost as common as, a basic, silver card from years past because they are just overly printing these things at this point. So let's take a look here at 2020 Select and what has happened. So I prepare you. I almost feel like I need an Excel spreadsheet to get through this craziness that is 2020 Select. So I'm going to kind of fly through this stuff because these talks about all the different inserts and so on and so forth. So let's stop here. So what happened this year that changed from years past? Well, they still have the 3 levels. They have the Concourse, the Premier, and the Field level. Each of those becoming more short printed, in that order. However, they added a level called the Club level, which is between Premier and Field levels. So I guess it would be the second most short printed out of the 4. Okay, all right, well, I guess we can handle that. No, not too big of a deal. Okay. The problem is that not only did they add the Club level, Not only are they printing more product because it's gone retail, but they added just an absurd amount of parallels this year. And what that does is it gives a false impression that you're just getting hits after hits after hits after hits. I've seen so many rips of 2020 Select where literally anything from a fat pack to a blaster to a mega to anything you get, retail, doesn't matter. You're ripping all kinds of parallels and supposedly short printed color. And I mean, it is like absurd the amount of just color and shiny cards that are coming out of 2020 Select. So I did a little quick math breakdown for you here, and it's probably going to make your eyes bug out of your head, but we're going to just break it down real quick. Okay, let's look at the concourse set here, right? Okay, we're our focus player like we did Baker back in 2018. Let's focus on the hottest quarterback of 2020, which was Mr. Herbert. As you can see, his card is right here, number 44, and this is your concourse. So this is your starting level for Select. Look at all these parallels. Good God. Okay, so just in concourse, you guys, there are 41 parallels plus your base card. So 42 total parallels just in concourse. That is more that is in all three levels of 2018 Select. Okay, now you know what's going on here. It has gotten out of hand. Okay, we're not done yet. We still got the other levels, right? Premier level, all right. 40 parallels plus the base card for 41 total cards in that premier level. All right, is that getting disturbing? Okay, well, we're still going, guys. Club level, the new level they added, 37 parallels plus the base card for 38 total. Oh my gosh. Okay. And Justin Herbert is in each one of these levels, guys. He's in all of them. They loaded him up. And finally, field level, supposedly the most short printed, 35 parallels in field level. This is supposed to be the one to get, like the hard one, right? 35 plus your base for 36 total. Oh, okay. Does that make you a little bit sick to your stomach like it does me? I love Select. Trust me, Select has always been my favorite brand outside of, Topps Chrome and other things like that, older stuff for football. But I cannot justify purchasing 2020 Select. I cannot justify the prices for sure. And I can't justify the fact that they're spinning off of all of these different parallels. That's really going to confuse buyers. Because let me give you an example here. Let's look at the popular parallel zebra. All right, let's go back to 2018 zebra, and I just did a quick eBay search of zebra field level cards for Baker Mayfield. Okay, there's been 2 sales over the last couple weeks. However, it's the same card. Looks like it's sold twice. Probably this one didn't get paid. So there's been 1 sale, and it's a BGS 10 and went for $5,000 at Baker Mayfield. Okay. All right, so nothing else since then. That's a modern one. So let's look at what is up for sale. Okay, there's 2 up for sale. There's a concourse zebra, and there's 1 field level zebra at 10,000. That's probably not going to sell at 10,000 since the closest comp was only, less than a week ago for half of that. So anyways, so there is 1 field level up for sale. So now you can kind of see the rarity of 2018 Select Zebra because it was a case hit, which means that it is very, 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 very hard to get one of those. So assume that you get 1 zebra from each level in a case. So you got 3 basically zebras per case, 1 concourse, 1 club, and 1 field. No, sorry, 1 concourse, 1 premier, and 1 field. So those 3, right, you can get of each one of those, you got 100 cards, right? So you got a 1 in 100 chance to get a Baker zebra in concourse. You got a 1 in 100 chance in premier, and you got a 1 in 100 chance in field. So basically, out of a case, I mean, your odds are really, really low that you're gonna not only get a zebra, but you're also gonna get the Baker Mayfield Zebra. So imagine how hard it is to get these cards. Okay, now let's look real quick at a quick search I did for 2020 Select Zebra Field Level. Now, these are sold cards, and I get it, guys. I know you're probably like, well, you're looking at cards from a few years ago versus ones that just came out, a month and a half ago. So, of course, there's going to be more on the market. Yeah, but this also kind of shows me just a quick snapshot of how many are out there if these are supposed to be so short printed that, they're very, very rare. Because if you noticed, when I looked at the different parallels, you don't see anything about the Zebra being a case hit when you read up on the 2020 here. Nowhere does it say, it just says it's short printed, but it doesn't say case hit anymore. So what that tells me is they probably upped the production of those, that therefore you can pretty much assume that there's more than one per case. My guess is there's multiple per case. So all it says is super short print, right? Super short print. Again, that could mean a lot of different things. That doesn't mean case hit. They didn't say case hit like they said in the 2018 one, where they definitely said right here, case hit Zebra. So again, Select kind of playing with people's minds here. So right here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 have sold since April 24. So over the course of, a month and a week, there's been 6 sales. One selling here in a PSA 10 for $14,000, you guys. $14,000. Okay. Now, in comparison, a BGS 10 of Baker Mayfield, a BGS 10 which goes higher than a PSA 10 for Baker, who's already done a lot more in his career than Justin Herbert, sold for $5,000. And we know that these are way shorter printed than the 2020 versions. So what I'm trying to warn everyone is here, look at this. The most recent sale was almost the same price as what a BGS 10 of Baker sold for. This is raw. This is not graded, guys. This is raw. $4,000. All right. Now, people are writing on here case hits, but this is not true. There is no proof or anything that says these are case hits. So, case hit. Everyone's writing it on there, which is definitely not honorable. And look here. This is what's currently for sale. There's more. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So between what is sold and what's for sale in the Zebra, there's already 10. 10 is a lot, you guys. 10 of anything that is supposed to be super short print, case hit only, of a product that probably hasn't even been fully ripped yet. I'm sure there's a lot of sealed wax still sitting around. That's a lot of these cards on the market, a lot available. And that's not even including the people that are holding on to them and not putting them up on eBay, or that might not be on eBay, might be on other platforms for sale. So again, I'm just saying this is some serious discrepancy here. And I think the new collectors really need to understand that Zebra in 2020 is not the same as Zebra in 2018 or other years. And the scary part is that people are comping these to each other. So they're basically, saying, oh, well, it's a Zebra, right? So it's super short print, case hit, whatever. That's not the case. So you got to just really know these things before you go and invest your hard-earned money into these cards that you think are something, but they are completely different because the manufacturer changed the checklist on us. And you got to just do your diligence. When a new product comes out that you're interested in, jump onto Cardboard Connection, jump onto Enjoy that has, checklists and whatnot available to you. And just do your research, because I don't want you guys to get screwed when all of a sudden there's 400 zebras in the pop count, and you're just sitting there going like, holy moly, I'm stuck holding the bag now because all these have dropped by 80%, because now all of a sudden people are realizing that a Zebra in 2020 is not the same as a Zebra in 2018, along with the 157 cards that Justin Herbert has in 2020 Select. And again, not including autos, not including memorabilia, not including inserts. We're talking about just the cards. 157. Good luck if you want to chase that rainbow. You'll be chasing it as long as the Lucky Charms guy has been. It's going to take you a lifetime to collect that set. All right, guys. Well, that's my rant for today. thank you so much. I appreciate you guys joining me again for another episode. I hope I was able to bring a little insights to your card collecting world. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. That would be awesome. And if you liked this video, if you got through all the way, hit the like button. I really appreciate that too. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Until then, peace.